everyone, it is Amy from littledragonbaking.com, and today in my video I'm going to go over some tips for pumping up your packaging with personalization and shipping your cookies so that you don't have a bunch of broken cookies and crumbs at the other end. So I'm going to start by saying that the shipping methods in this video are not something I came up with. I couldn't find the website where I saw it, but I have tried it, I love it. I'm just sharing the wisdom of somebody who is smarter than I am. So if anyone has seen it out there and wants to drop the link in the comments, I would love to give credit where credit is due. So now that that disclaimer is out there, I'm going to start by talking about custom cookie tins because I love packaging and I was very excited to discover these. I came across them on a website called shindigs.com, and they have a ton of pre-made templates for the holidays, for birthdays, and all you have to do is type in some text. So you can personalize it to someone if you're giving a gift, or put your family's name on it, put your own name on it, whatever you want to do. So I created one with my logo, and I personalized it for the person I'm giving these cookies to. Now this is actually a really big tin. So it's a little more expensive. I believe it's their 9-inch, and it cost me about $10. So they have a smaller size, usually $6.99. So if you're doing a lot, it might get a little pricey, but for a one-off gift or for someone really special, I think it's a very affordable option. So if you want to look into that for the holidays, I highly recommend it. Now, on to the actual putting the cookies into the tin part, which is probably what you care about. I am going to line my tin with plastic wrap, and even though we are actually going to wrap our cookies individually or in twos, I do this because it allows you to just fold over the plastic wrap and make a neat little package of cookies once you have them all in there. This also means if you want to put anything around the edges to add some color, some tissue paper, something festive, you can just tuck it in the edges more easily with that plastic wrap, kind of holding your cookies in a bundle. You're probably thinking, why don't I put the tissue paper in first? But really, let's save the maximum space for cookies, and if you have any left, maybe you can consider tissue paper. I mean, those are my priorities, more cookies, less everything else, but you do you. So, I use plastic wrap around the edge of my tin. It's just a preference. So before you even touch your cookies, make sure they're cool, but like actually cool, not like, well, I wouldn't cause myself severe burns if I put one in my mouth right now. So like room temperature cool, because otherwise you're just going to end up breaking your own cookies because they're too soft. I know it feels weird to say that a cookie could ever be too soft, but in this case, it actually applies. Second thing, if you have cookies with chocolate chips, even if they're cool, you're probably going to smear some chocolate. So if you're looking for something that's going to be absolutely picture perfect, this method's probably not for you. But it will get your cookies there in one piece, usually, probably, that's what I'm told. Anyway, now on to the important part of this video, how to put the cookies into the tin. So what I've done is I've just made a tiny little piece of plastic wrap. You don't need much because we're just going to do 2 cookies at a time. And you put them flat side to flat side and you wrap them. So why does that help? It helps because while we start out putting them in nice flat little layers, eventually towards the top, our cookies are probably going to at least sit a little bit at an angle like this instead of this. And when your cookies are at this angle, that's when the breaking happens more easily. So they just kind of go like this. But if they have that bottom cookie to reinforce them, they're a little bit more sturdier and less likely to break, even if they have to sit at that angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit my cookies in here, and as you can see, I start with a nice flat layer, but as I put my cookies in and try to put more in, it's probably not going to stay nice and flat. So I'm going to come back and show you what it looks like when my tin is full. I am back with my finished tin, and even though I recommended cramming in every single cookie possible, I ended up being a hypocrite and showing some restraint. So what I did was I actually did 2 fairly flat layers And I did add some tissue paper, so I sacrificed some cookie space. So the arrangement that I did was I used those doubled up pairs. I did a ring of 5 on the bottom and a slightly smaller ring of 4 cookies on the top. So this tin actually holds about 18 cookies, and as you can see, I did end up with quite a bit of space around the edges, which I shoved tissue paper in, and that's important so that they have really no room to move, even if they are pretty flat, as you can see here. And then you just fold it over. So as you can see, it doesn't look particularly lovely with them all plastic wrapped up. So I definitely do recommend adding some festive tissue paper if you want to make it a gift. So when they open it, it looks more like a gift. And the last thing was, I forgot to mention, and this is pretty important, don't use warm cookies when you're wrapping them because you will trap steam in there and you don't want moisture because moisture equals mold. So definitely do take extra care to make sure those cookies are cool before putting them in plastic wrap. Anyway, here you have it, nice and neat, and when he opens that, he will get some nice festive tissue paper and maybe 2 less cookies.